Hola, mujeres. How's it going? This is Dr. Guerra. I decided to start a new series called Mujeres Monday. So it's going to be a spin on Monday motivation. And so I just want this to be a space to encourage folks on whatever you may be working on. So, for example, if there's a new project that you're working on, or something that you'd like to try, like a class you want to go try, take this as your sign, right? Take this as your sign. Let this be your Monday motivation. So, a couple things. I think a lot of times in life we get so caught up in what will other people say, right? And that can be very detrimental to our own personal growth, because what ends up happening, and I'm guilty of this myself, is that we get so bogged down with what other people are going to say or how it will look to others or whatever, that we don't do it. And more often than not, especially when people reflect on their lives, if we talk to the elderly, people towards the end of life, they will say the things that they regret are the things that they didn't do. The things that they would have liked to have done. I wish I had gone on a trip. I wish I had tried this. I wish I had reached out, and right, the woulda, shoulda, coulda. So I'm here today to encourage you to reflect and to think about what are the things that you have been dying to work on or have been dying to do, but have either not had time to, or to be honest, maybe feel a little scared. And that's okay. Okay, that's okay. I'm here to tell you, do it scared. Do it scared. Honestly, I don't think that anyone who's really had a sense of success in their life was fully prepared. I don't think we can ever fully prepare for anything. You kind of just go for it at some point, right? There's a little bit of preparation involved, but there comes a point in which you have to trust, right? And I am a person of faith. I believe in a higher power. I believe in God and spirit and all of these different things. So there comes a point in which you have to know that God has your back, or spirit has your back, or the universe has your back, however you want to see it. That it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's kind of crazy when I think back on some of the things in life that I have worried about so much, stressed about so badly. They were keeping me up at night. They were just so difficult and stressful. Most of the time turned out to not be as big a deal. That conversation, that difficult conversation, whatever it was, it turned out to not be as bad. Sometimes we make it worse in our heads. And tarot is a really great card that comes up often with swords, right? I'm always I'm the queen of swords, because it's our mind, right? We kind of torture ourselves a lot of times, to be honest. Our self-doubt, our hesitations, whatever it may be, that's what keeps us back. And that's what is really the obstacle. We are an obstacle to our own happiness a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times. So I'm here to encourage you. Think of me as your cheerleader. Think of me as your online cheerleader. If I know you in real life, text me, let's hang out. But think of me as your cheerleader, because I really do want to see people succeed. I am especially invested in seeing women and young girls succeed. I'm Latina. I'm very committed to our community. And so I want this again to be a space. I want it to be a community space where people could share and comment and get advice and things like that. So I also wanted to mention, so along these lines, thinking of mental stress and whatnot, October 10th is World Mental Health Day, which is coming up if you're watching this in real time. And I wanted to just reiterate the importance of taking care of your mental health. I know a lot of times it can feel a little uncomfortable to share what we're struggling with. I think a lot of times we're taught to be strong, don't share our business, that kind of thing. But honestly, I feel like therapists and psychiatrists have saved my life. I struggle with mental health. I shared this in season 1 of my podcast episode. I was actually diagnosed with bipolar in summer of 2020. So in the midst of the pandemic, I had a total breakdown and was hospitalized twice. So believe me when I say the importance of mental health. And so I have really had to kind of recalibrate and readjust a lot of things in my own life. And I share this to say, you can still do what you want to do. In other words, like, don't let anything stand in your way. Don't feel like you can't accomplish certain goals or make certain things happen. Oh, and another one, and I talked about this in season 1 too. You're not too old. So many of us get this like stuck in our head, like, I'm too old. I'm already 35. I'm 46. Oh my God, I'm 53. It's too late for me. No, if you are alive and breathing, let's go. You can do it. 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 I actually just saw a YouTube of a woman who started YouTube, and she was in her 70s. I said, go on. That's so dope. I think it's super dope. I think it's amazing. Good for her. Yeah, why not? It can be anything. It's not too late. Go for it. Do it. And so what I will say is, I encourage folks to think about, like, what is one small step? Again, it can feel overwhelming at times, like, oh my God, like, I have this idea, I have this big project, I want to start a business, I want to Okay. That's fantastic. And at times we can feel, and again, I'll speak for myself, we can feel paralyzed with the enormity of the project or the enormity of the pieces. So it's all about one small step, right? Today, Monday, what's one thing you can do? That can simply be making a to-do list for the business, for the project, for the activity that you want to do. It can be making a phone call. Find out what time the classes start. Find out how much registration is if you want to take a dance class or something. That's it. Just one thing. One small thing will build the momentum, right? That's kind of how we operate as human beings, is like building blocks, right? Like one brick by brick, we start feeling the momentum, we start feeling the excitement. We're like, all right, it's coming together, it's awesome. I remember in grad school, doing the dissertation felt like something impossible at one point, right? And I remember so many mentors and things saying, it's one page at a time. And that's translatable. I think for a lot of things, it's like, it's just one paragraph at a time, one page at a time, one day at a time. If you're doing knitting or sewing, it's one stitch at a time, right? You can do this. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. Do you folks know that reference? Oh, Tyra. Anyway, so I'm excited. I hope that these videos are helpful. I'm going to be doing them on Mondays, Monday Motivation, Mujeres Mondays. And I wanted to close out with an additional message. So if you know, I really love tarot. I really love oracle cards, especially. I actually feel like I get a stronger connection out of oracle cards. We're all different, right? So in terms of like my intuition, etc., I feel like oracle messages are really powerful. So I have an oracle deck here. It's they're quotes from Louise Hay, who is a really great author, very inspirational. I've already saged this deck before I started the video. But I'm going to pull a card for us as our parting message and advice for the day. And these are double-sided cards, so it's a 2-for-1. We're going to get 2 messages, actually. So let's see. Give me a second. Oh, that's the one. That is the one here. All right. It says, I'm totally adequate for all situations. Yes, you are enough. In other words, you are enough, just as you are. And the other side of the card says, I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. Yes. Throat chakra, unlocked. Speak up. Yes, mujeres. Speak up for yourselves. I think that's something that a lot of us as women of color in particular, have to learn how to use our voice and to speak up whenever we can. Yeah. All right, my dears, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, my podcast is called Gold Hoops and God. I release new podcast episodes every Wednesday. Thanks so much for being here. This is your host, Dr. Guerra. Bye.